But first hand, we'll go here, here, and here. Well, well, well. So this is actually pretty interesting. Crazy this is our tuner. Like, we do have access to a few things. It sucks opening doubles of these, but that's the game, right? No different than seeing, like, double uppercutter. And this is, like, kind of the instance where you see there being... I think we're okay. So we start out by normal summoning the Flame Swordsman effect. So this by itself will get us to a pop, right? Like, yeah, this right here by itself will get us to a pop. But I think we'll go ahead and normal summon the Fighting Flame Swordsman at the realm. There's not really much more we can do. I mean, we could technically banish this from hand to summon down one of these as a tuner, but that won't do us anything. Hold up. I think there's a line, and we're going to make this happen, guys. We equip the Flame Sword's realm, is that we discard this, summon out the Flame Swordsman, and then, well, maybe not, because there's got to be a way. Maybe that's not the correct play, or maybe it is. I don't know. I was thinking like there's a way that we could get access to Cross Sheep reborn this right here, reborn something, but I don't know if that's what we could link off here into Cross Sheep here. That will dump, but we lose access to this. And that's not good. So I guess maybe that's not the correct play. So maybe this, send off this. Then we summon out this. Then Effective Swordsman to go ahead and grab us. Or to go ahead and send. We go ahead and dump the Salamandra. Salamandra will grab us this right here. We equipped Fusion. I think we go and special summon out Turpin. See, we can like I said, we could still banish this at any moment and summon out this, and then link these off into that might be the call. Then like banish this. Hey, Sir, hope all is well. Pretty sad mood in Colorado. Everyone is just sad with no list. And I get where they're coming from. There is no reason for them not to be dropping. Yeah, man, a list should have been out already. It's just quite ridiculous. And everyone's, like, praising Konami over them communicating with us. But, like, I don't think Konami deserves any praise, technically. So we go here. Go here for Cross Sheep. Right, we go for Cross Sheep. A fusion effect. To go ahead and bring out the Ultimate Flame Swordsman. Effective Cross Sheep to reborn. See, this is where I kind of wish we had the ability, like we had just one more extender. It doesn't matter what we reborn. Link here into here. Effect here to reborn again. Again, doesn't matter what we reborn. We link off here into the Ferocious Flame Swordsman. We'll put this here. Then we can go Effective Salamandra to equip here. And I mean, like, that's not, like... I mean, this is not terrible by any means. Like, then we can set one card. We technically have 2 pops and, well, technically an imperm. So, like, not seeing, like, access to our Infernoble stuff was pretty okay. If you guys saw a line or know a line that I could have done to get, like, Ricardetto to the graveyard, which I know we had the line to Swords Realm, but I just had no way to, like, go move forward with it after that point. Let me know down in the comment section. Ready to get clapped up by Exodia again Friday? I will not be there Friday. because I'm terrified of being clapped by Exodia, but instead I'm going to tell you that I have a date that night. So you'll believe me when I'm not there. I mean, like, yeah, that's not terrible. Like, this is actually pretty decent. If you want to go one, would you play 3 Witch and 1 Wanted post list in this build? It just depends, like, what they do. So there's technically... So let me go ahead. There's 3 one-ofs that you don't want to see in the deck. And I'll put them, like, here in order. And, like, the 3 one-ofs, like, you don't... Well, actually, there's more. There's, like... Alright, so, like, as far as the list goes of, like, the one-ofs, like, you don't care to open... It'd be like these, in like order of like you don't ever want to see, and the ones that you're okay with seeing. You don't mind seeing these. These are okay. This one's like all right. You don't want to see it, but I mean like if you do, it's okay. It's better than this, and you never want to see this because this card it's a trap. It's a searchable trap you never want to see. But so the what I'm getting at is that Cali Effect did a video where he put up like statistics and said like in a 40 card deck. If there's one-ofs you don't want to see, until you get to like roughly the 44 to 45 card count, that's when you start seeing a particular probability decrease in opening the one-ofs. So I might, to be honest with you, I would probably, if list willing, and list doesn't touch that stuff, I'd do like 3 Wanted, 1 Witch, and 1 OSS. Just to add it, just flat out add it in, because then it kind of shuts off seeing a lot of the one-ofs that I don't want to see. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and draw our next hand. Ash Blossom, Double Ash, love it. Fighting Flame Sword, Ogier, and Museum. So I've actually been contemplating cutting out the hand trap, and I think depending on the ban list, what I'll do, but I've really been not feeling the hand traps in this deck. I really am starting to feel like this deck plays a lot like Mermail, where it doesn't have a lot of non-engine slots, so like one hand trap just doesn't end turns, you know what I mean? So like this one Ash isn't going to do anything. It's just going to be like a 1-for-1 essentially. Whereas if this was like Dark Ruler or like Tactics or, you know, anything like that, this card would go in a lot deeper. So like I've been kind of like in this weird feeling that if the ban list doesn't touch the wanted stuff, I'd probably cut down some non-engine to go in to put the wanted stuff in. And then try to play like Dark Ruler and stuff like that. And I'm not even too fond of droplets because like going first, setting droplets is cool because like it's good going first. Going second... there's just so many cards, like, you have to pitch so many cards, and then, like, not only, say you even, like, pitch, like, 4 or 3 cards, you still have to play, like, their hand traps, and, like, that just to give you enough engine. I'd rather see, like, Dark Ruler, and then have 5 cards to play through your hand traps and stuff like that. And then, of course, the Flame Swordsman stuff is really good at busting boards, especially with, like, the pop from the Ultimate Flame Swordsman and the ability for it to be bigger than anything on the field almost. So, but anyway, standby phase, I think I'd fire off the Fighting Flame Sword and go ahead and search out our Fighting Flame Swordsman. And then we got a new dog, guys. So like, it's a yapper. So if my neighbor farts across the, and my neighbor farts, like he might start barking. So I will apologize beforehand. But anyway, so then we move to main phase. You normal summon the Ultimate Flame Swordsman. You use effect to go ahead and search out your here. So something to note here is that if we get ashed on, per se, the museum, we still are going to end on the Ultimate Flame Swordsman with a particular ash. So, like, I mean, like, the end board, I mean, like, it's at least something, whereas, like, an ash on, like, some things are, like, an ash on certain things would just end your turn, right? But, like, anyway, we'll go ahead and activate the field spell, pay 12 to go ahead and search out your... And this is going to be perfect, because I'm going to be able to showcase you guys at Wrong Fusion how this engine, per se, beats around or plays Nib. And this is actually the perfect scenario, because you drew ash. We'll go ahead and activate Durandal, use Durandal's effect to go ahead and search out our... Renault. You special out Renault. Use Renault's effect to add back the Durandal. So down here's our hand. We go ahead and synchro here for Angelica. We'll go Chainlink 1 Angelica, Chainlink 2 the Fighting Flame Swordsman. Fighting Flame sends the Dragon. Angelica adds a second Museum. and then the dragon will add us. So like it depends right here. So this is like the pivotal moment in the combo sequence where you decide if you read Nib or not. With the Salamander, you can either add the fusion or you can add the chain. If you add chain, you mean like arguably going blind first, you'd want to add chain because like the likelihood of them having Nib is like slim, right? But if you are reading a Nib and this is so strange because I can't tell you how to read if your opponent has a Nib, you just kind of feel it. You know what I mean? You can look for like particular cues and like ticks that your opponent has. Especially when they're like, where they'll count, they'll be like 1, 2, you know, like, all right, you're counting my summons for a reason, man. So like, you'd go for here. Or sometimes you just have that gut feeling. You're just like, this dude got Nib. And you grab it. But both scenarios still end you in the same instance where you're still ending on an additional disruption, with that being said. So anyway, you grab here. Let's just grab this because we want to beat Nib. And I'll still like showcase you guys like how to do that. You can either go Salamander, you can hold Salamander for later on, or you can go Durandal effect, chain Angelica. Angelica will send. In this scenario, we kind of open a little funky because you're supposed to send. You're supposed to send Ogier here, but since we open it, we got to do this a little bit differently, which I guess kind of like don't let that confuse. That's why, like I said, I'll do like a dedicated combo, showing like how to beat Nib, like what the standard card, like the standard 2-card combo that like this list gets you does. So we go into Roland, and for the sake of the video, we'll just go ahead and like play Flame Swords Realm. But this is how like you would beat Nib. Just a quick to go ahead and give a quick overview of it. You'd equip here, use Museum to move forward. This is your 5th summon. If this was Ogier, Ogier is sending, and if they choose to respond to the summon, you still get Nib, so you get to send an appropriate card, whether that be Turpin or Gearfried. With it having access to Museum, since you happen to open like Fighting Flamesword plus Museum, you send Gearfried because you're going to be able to get it back. So your end board will be like Museum plus the Fighting Flame Swordsman. But if they do that, you're locked into Warrior, so you can't get rid of the token, so you just got to like do what you can. But anyway, that's what you would do if they had Nib, because then you have all this to play through. But we're going to go Fighting Sword Realm. We'll pitch the Ogier to go ahead and summon out the Fighting Flame Swordsman. And then right here we could also make a Baron if we wanted to. JK, because Konami banned that card. So then we'll go Ogier's effect to equip to the... doesn't matter who we equip to technically. Effect to Museum to move forward. Effective Ogier to go ahead and dump. You send Gearfried. You go ahead and synchro off here into Charles. Right here for Charles. You then go and activate the second field spell. Pay in 12 again. Time in the round is called. And we just lose. But if you want to keep access to your equips and grave, you can do 2 routes. You grab Almas or grab Joyous. I still think Joyous has a lot of utility in the deck. Even though it is out of all the equip spells, I think Joyous is the most cuttable one. But I like having it for like it's just crazy like utility in my opinion. The add back from the graveyard, the specialing from the hand, it's pretty wild. We'll go ahead and in this 1 second, we don't want to do that. Grab Almas. What am I thinking? If you want to, you can potentially do it if you need the extra equips and grave. You can go Almas and the Joyous, but there's no point. We equipped Almas to Charles. Go ahead and link off here into the Emperor. Charles himself, just chain link 1. Chain link 2 will be Almas to go ahead and grab back Gearfried and then equipped here. We'll then go ahead and use the Museum's effect to move forward the second Charles. We'll go Roland's effect to attach to the second Charles, and then we'll make our second Charles here. And then effect the Charles to equip. And then you can go ahead and use the Gearfried, banishing the Almas if you really want to. It doesn't matter. You can get everything back thanks to Malgus here. And then we can go ahead and equip the fusion onto Flame Swordsman. I have caught myself using Charles's effect to destroy the Flame Sword Realm. And I know it's kind of like questionable, but you run out of space pretty easy. And especially if you need to set cards like Call by the Grave, or you need to set cards like Imperm. You just need to have like the open space. So I've caught myself doing that, making that a habit to go ahead and do. You go ahead and use Fusion's effect to go ahead and tribute it off, to go ahead and summon out the Ultimate Flame Swordsman. And then we can go ahead and use Salamander's effect to go ahead and equip to the Ultimate Flame Swordsman to make it a quick effect if we want, so that's already ready and live. And then that is the end board. So to quickly show you, we have 2 spell and trap negates, a monster negate, and 2 pops. Then end phase comes around. Charles, it doesn't matter which one, can equip the Salamander Fusion, which will give it 700. I believe it gives it, it gives it 700 more attack. And then the first time it would be destroyed, it's not destroyed. So then you're able to go ahead and equip Malgus from the deck. So you technically would have, like I said, you would have 1 space if you kept the Flame Swordsman out, but like right now, we're able to fire off Charles's destruction, because something that's unique is the Flame Swordsman only destroys monsters, so it kind of limits it. It limits our target or pop with it. So ignoring the Ash Blossoms, because I don't really want to like count hand traps, but you technically can. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 forms of disruption, if I remember that right. 2 spell and trap negates, monster gate, and a pop. Oh, no, wait. And then 2 pops. So we have 5 forms of disruption, including Ash. So, like, technically speaking, if the opponent goes first, we can interact with all 5 of their cards, which is kind of insane. But, yeah, so we'll go ahead and shuffle it up here. And if this next hand shows, it gives us the combo, like, I'll go ahead and show you a Nib scenario that I'm talking about where the Flame Swordsman stuff beats it. That's assuming that we don't draw, like, any of the wonky one-ofs and stuff like that, or, like, anything like that kind of, like, hinders the combo, but... Yep, I'll show you guys what happens if we get hit with Nib. And then we'll go ahead and draw our first 5 cards, which is going to be Museum, Imperm, Headers of the Chalice, Fighting Flame Swordsman, perfect, Salamandra, the Flying Flame Dragon, and that's okay, and then Cross Out. So, wait, that's 6 cards, right? Yeah, so we don't need Cross Out. Never mind. So even opening the Salamandra is not going to hurt us too bad. We can just still use it. It is actually going to allow us to send a completely different card, which is kind of wild. But essentially what I want you to focus on are these 2 cards here. We have to use Salamandra in this unique way, but do take note that in the normal combo, you send Salamandra with the Fighting Flame Swordsman, and it resolves the same way. Again, this combo is also attainable through this way here. So this hand technically beats multiple hand traps, especially if it's like Ash and Nib. And I'm going to show you like how. Like, let's just say we fire off Headers of the Chalice and the opponent goes Ash. All right, sweet. That's exactly what I would do. I'd fire this off to scan for Ash. And so then once that goes, we go normal on the Flame Swordsman, use the effect. So we're going to hypothetically get hit with Nib, okay? That's going to be the playthrough here. We'll grab the Flame Swords Realm. We go ahead and activate Museum, paying our 12 to go ahead and search out our Durandal. We'll go ahead and use Durandal's effect to go ahead and grab us our Renault. We'll go and special out the Renault, grabbing back the Durandal, and then we synchro here for 5 for Angelica. Chainlink 1 Angelica, Chainlink 2 the Fighting Flame Swordsman. Since we opened Salamandra, we normally send this, but we can actually just send the ultimate ferocious Fighting Dragon to the graveyard. And then we'll go ahead and add here. Then we can go ahead and go at Salamandra's effect to attempt to target, and then we'll chain Angelica's effect, sending Ogier. So right here is, in this particular sequence, is where we get the ability to trigger our Salamandra, whereas before it was like it was an action before. So Salamandra's effect triggers if you are sensing Nib and you want to beat Nib. Like I said, you go for Salamandra Fusion. If you're not, you want to go ahead and go for Salamandra Chain. And it's kind of unique in this particular scenario, since we opened this. If you went with the Salamandra Chain, if you negated with Gearfried and or Charles, you could use Chain, because since you have access to the Flame Swords Realm, you could summon the Flame Swordsman and fuse using the Ferocious Flame and the Swordsman with Chain, giving you one more disruption. But anyway, we're just going to pretend like that's where the intricacies and freestyle of the deck kind of come in. So we're going to go ahead and grab Fusion. We're going to go Ogier's effect to equip, and then we will go ahead and use Museum's effect to move forward. This is our 5th summon. And if our opponent decides to nib us here, we can go ahead. We have a few options. So effect to send, we can go ahead and they say chain nib, so you have an option to still send your Gearfried, or you can send Turpin to like continue link climbing and stuff like that. Because we're going to get a token, and the token's going to be an extra body that we can turn into a Promethean Princess, essentially with the Ferocious Flame Swordsman. Or if you want to get the Gearfried, it depends what you value more, right? Like it just... because Angelica's coming back, and Promethean with Angelica is a very strong interaction, because it's pretty good. So for the sake, we'll make it simple, and we'll just go ahead and send the Immortal Phoenix. These get nibbed off. and we get a Nib. So pretty easy thing right now. So this is how you get beat. So if you happen to get nibbed earlier, before your warrior locked, by you moving something forward, you could go Flame Sword, Realm, Link off, then Link Spire, and send it off. But sadly, now looking at my hand before I said what we had to do, Gearfried is definitely not an option, and because we're going to have to use the second field spell to get a monster. So that's why this card becomes very unique and very, kind of, for lack of better terms, bad. Because it has to send a monster face up or from the hand. So that means this next field spell we're activating is going to have to grab us like Joyous, and Joyous is going to have to grab us back Turpin to be able to discard. This card, it kind of confuses me on even, like, I can understand sending a monster, but why does it have to be face up? I feel like you can fuse face down, so why wouldn't it just be like send a monster, you know what I mean? But anyway, which Infernoble version do you think is the most competitive? Pure, Flame Swords, Ib with Beckon, Vanquish Soul, or anything else? I actually really feel that this variant is probably on par. Now, so like you're kind of discounting the Snake Eyes variant too, which again, like the Snake Eyes variant is literally just worse Snake Eyes. But I would say that the Flame Swordsman stuff is like really high up there. The Ib and Beckoned combo sequence is really cool. It's really good. But the one thing I've noticed and that I've been doing a testing is the Boxer / Ib stuff. The Boxer line loses hard to nib. Like if you guys would remember, I'd be like normal summon Uppercutter, Special Spar, Dempsey, Detach, summon. There's my 5th summon. That's it. And there's not really much you can do after that. Whereas if right here, what I'm about to showcase you, is we're getting nibbed on our 5th summon here, and we're going to be able to do a lot more. And then I feel like that version with Mulcharmy coming out, with the Mulcharmy card existing, the Boxer version gives them more draws, which is dangerous because you summon, I think, twice more than you do in this normal sequence. You would literally normal summon, give them a draw. You would then Special Renault, give them a draw. Special Gearfried, give them 3 draws. Whereas in the Boxer, you normal Boxer, that's 1. Special Spar, that's 2. Special Renault, that's 3. Special Spar, that's 4. Special Gearfried later on, if you have it, that's 5. You'd give them like too many draws. But anyway, here we are. We go ahead and activate the field spell. Again, pay 12 to go ahead and search. Wait, no ban list. No ban list yet. Hopefully, I might put this video out. So the test hand video will come out so that people can like watch it. Because remember, if you're members, all the live streams get uploaded for members only. So I'll probably just clip this as a test hand video for those who are not members. So, but anyway, we go Joyous Effect to go and destroy itself to add back the Turpin. Then we go Flame Swords Realm, pitch and Turpin to go ahead and summon out the Flame Swordsman. We then can equip it with Fusion, and then we can special out. No, let's see here. We gotta wait. We're locked into Warriors, so we potentially can make SP. We have to throw away our have to throw away the Ferocious Flame Swordsman, which I feel like is okay in this scenario. We'll go ahead and equip here. Use Museum's effect to move forward, and we go ahead and turn this right here into the Ferocious Flame Swordsman. Ferocious Flame Swordsman, for those who are wondering, just 2 monsters with different names. So 2 monsters with different names, right? Guys, when ban list, I don't know, brother. I don't know. Hopefully soon. Special out Turpin, and then we can go ahead and link these off. This will get banished and go right into SP. If you weren't Warrior locked, man, like we could have made Cross Sheep here, and Cross Sheep could have done like a lot of different things. I will go Fusion Effect to go ahead and go on into the Ultimate Flame Swordsman. We set our Inperm. We can go ahead and use the Fighting Flame Dragon here. We can actually use either one of these. It really doesn't matter. But we'll just go ahead and use the Fighting Flame Dragon to equipped here. And then in phase, this comes out. And here you go. So essentially, through Nib, and then we go Effective Flame Swordsman, pop Nib, burn him for 5. Through a Nibiru, we were able to establish this right here. Now, there is like some difference in like the lines. Like if the opponent waits for on resolution of Ogier and you already send the Gearfried, you don't get access to Turpin. But I have found that most players are definitely, even myself, well, on summon, fire off Nib. You know what I mean? So like you definitely have like the flexibility there. But most cases, a good player will wait to see what you send probably. But I wouldn't even say a good player. Like an in-depth player that knows your deck would be like, I'll wait for you to send. And then once they see you see Gearfried, they'll be like, Nib. But They could actually nib you at any moment, but like there's a point where they're going to nib you no matter what. And the sequence is you make Charles, and then you automatically get access to Gear Free through that line. So as soon if they just hold nib, you go reveal Gear Free, and they have to nib you on the Gear Free reveal. Otherwise, it's too late. So if they nib you on Gear Free, they nib everything. Gear Free comes out, and you can still get to the Ultimate Flame Swordsman that way. So like not even counting Imperm sitting here because this is like this is non-engine. You have the ability to use Angelica to use Roland to target Angelica. She'll tag out, sending Malgus. Malgus will shuffle back resources and get you another draw. And then you have the pop, SP Banish, which is, I mean, something, it's better than nothing, as I feel like the Boxer line, if it ever met any sort of resistance and you didn't have, like, really good follow-up or, like, particular resistance, Little Knight was never enough. When ban list coming out, ban list will probably come out on the weekend. It'll probably come out on the weekend or, like, a Monday, I think. But we'll just run a few more test hands. So like I said, I already told everyone in chat, maybe it's people new. As soon as it comes out, dude, I promise you guys, if OSS survives, I'm going to pick up Quarter Century, the whole wanted package, Quarter Century, dude. Because I feel like this list could really thrive from it. Really thrive from it. Late August per Konami. Well, Konami, yeah. Late August is like, late August could be August 31st for Konami. So we'll go and draw our next cards. So then, here we go. Bomb, man. This hand is a bomb diggity. Awesome. Do you love your stuff? I'm really to bring back Infernoble because it was a deck I got my day 2 with Indie Battle Phase, man. This deck literally has... So my channel's really known for Infernoble, or for Crusadia, but fun fact is I've got more tops and wins with Infernoble in its entire lifespan that I did with Crusadia. So I really enjoy the deck a lot, too. You think Infernoble is going to perform a lot better post-ban list? I actually think, depending on the ban list, that's really what it comes down to. I think if they slaughter everything else, I think this deck stands like a really good spot because I feel like we will get into a multi-deck format where a lot of decks are good again. And I feel like when this deck eats like other rogue decks alive, and I just feel like that's what it's... So I feel like that's what it's really dedicated to, is like depending what the ban list is. But yeah, no matter what, as long as every deck on the slate will get significantly better as long as Snake Eyes and stuff gets addressed. So this hand, crazy. If we were going second, another Chalice. So that sucks. Someone brought up in my comment section today that they hate playing more than Chalice because it's the hard ones per turn. And I agree, but like it's a Rhoda, you got to play it to see it. There's just bad variants, man. Like these are all like non-engine, right? I mean, so like. It is what it is. The only thing I can say is go Heritage of the Chalice, search Ogier, dump Fighting Flame Swordsman to send Salamandra, grab the Salamandra with Chain, equip Salamandra to give him an additional 7, and then set Salamandra, so then you end on technically a Book of Moon, and then like Ogier becomes like 19. I mean, hypothetically, right, you could potentially, like, eat an Ash and, like, cross out it, and then Tactics to draw 2 more cards, which could get you into playable for sure. Like, there's probably no way that drawing the 2 off talents would get you into, like, unplayable. So we'll just shuffle it up and do, like, another test hand. It just kind of, it works well. But let's go ahead and see your next test hand here. We'll go ahead and draw Ash. And I'll bring something up here. So, you're with... playing all the non-engine space that I feel like the deck has without going over 40, this type of scenario, it doesn't come up enough, right? Like, if you were guaranteed to always see Ash in perm, like, yes, but most of the time, like, you're not going to see this, and I feel like most decks, even when the power ceiling shrinks next format or post-ban list, Ash in perm, unless perfectly timed, is still might not still end some turns, so you'd rather see, like, I think in perm will stay because it's a phenomenal going second card. But if this was Dark Ruler and I was going second, like, I would be really happy. You can fling Imperm because you have Dark Ruler to be able to stop them from getting pluses, and then you have a 6 card coming in. So, but anyway, this right here is just standard Infernoble combo, really. Again, I think you go Heritage of the Chalice, scan for Ash. I think we could potentially go ahead and grab our field spell. You then go ahead and normal summon Ogier. Ogier's effect to send. You send Gearfried here because we want to have that anti-Gearfried, anti-Nibiru line, essentially. But and that's also why I think, like, cross out, like, in this particular list, would be good. Also, another thing to bring up, again, if you're playing more engine, and these two cards right here, or like Ash is like the wanted, or the Ash is non-engine, essentially, and it's an extender, if your opponent does open like multiple hand traps like Ash plus Nib or Nib Imperm, you're able to kind of beat through it a little bit more because you can hold out on that type of stuff, and you can at least get to something, right? Oh, so this gets sent. We'll go ahead and activate the field spell. Pay 12 to go ahead and search Durandal. We can go Durandal effect as soon as I find it. Durandal. We'll go Durandal. Let's move this stuff down here. Durandal effect. Search out Renault. And we actually have the ability to do, well, since we opened Almus, we could particularly do an interesting sequence here. We could special add back Durandal, so that way we can trigger our Angelica, equipped Almus, and then Synchro, because this is only going to be our third summon here. We could actually we could have done this a little bit differently. We could have done this, add back Gearfried, banish the Durandal, equipped it with this, so that way that our Angelica is safe from like an Ash here. But even Ash here is okay because we've got access to this. But anyway, effect of this to add this back. Hi, greetings from Costa Rica. Hello, Jamie. Welcome to the stream, man. Greetings from Nebraska. We'll go ahead and banish this. Just summon out. Okay, yeah, summon out Gearfried. This will be our fourth summon, effective Ogier to equipped here to Gearfried. And then we can go Durandal target, chain her effect. And we have to send Turpin here, sadly. I mean, yeah, we have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's if we want to make Charles. So technically we could send the Fighting Flame Swordsman, and then he could send Salamandra. Salamandra grab us. Actually, yeah, so we do have that. That'll get us to more disruption. Send this. This will banish. Goes to grave. And then effect of the Fighting Flame Swordsman. We'll send ourselves the Salamandra. Salamandra will then add us this. So yep, send Salamandra, Salamandra add the chain. Effect of Salamandra, target the Gearfried. And then we go Museum effect to go ahead and move. Did I forget to add? Oh, but I did. We have an Ultra SP because I don't have and I can't afford that for now. Bro, man, I hate to say it, but there's like no alternative to SP. Sadly, SP is that good. A reprint is coming with the 10, so just have faith with that. Otherwise, like, it's really hard to beat SP, dude. It's really hard. So yeah, so I totally forgot add Museum off of the Angelica because we use Heritage of the Chalice to grab Museum, so you should have this. This should be your hand right here. Apologies, guys, getting lost in the sauce. But anyway, you go effect of Salamandra to equip to Gearfried, use Museum's effect to move forward. And then we make our first Charles. And then we go effect of this to equipped. And then we just link off into Charles. Effect to equip. Right, so this is our hand. Right here. Just let's clean up everything here so everything looks presentable so people can follow along, especially since I'm doing a horrible job here. We'll go and activate the second Museum. Pay 12 again. We got to add Joyous here, and that means we just kind of got to throw Joyous away, which kind of sucks. But it's okay because we'll be able to equip during the end phase and get a draw and stuff like that. And this is all under protected of Nib, right? So if the opponent only has Nib, we're pretty solid. So again, we'll go ahead and add this hand. Effective Museum to move Charles forward. Equip Joyous. And then we just link it off here into our second Charles. Our second Charles, and then we get to set, technically, our 2 cards here. Ooh, do we want to set these 2 cards? Because that will take up space. I think we have to just set the Salamandra with Chain, technically. Yeah, set the Salamandra with Chain. And then end phase, Charles can equip Durandal, Angelica returns, and then Charles will equip Malgus. So then this is our end board. Dang, that kind of sucks. I guess arguably if we wanted to, when the second Charles equipped it, when the second Charles equipped this Charles, we could have popped the Salamandra, because then this is up, right? And then that would allow us to set the second Imperm. And then we have technically... But I don't want to count the non-engine, essentially, right? But essentially, without the non-engine, we have Spell and Trap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 forms of disruption, right? So 2 Spell and Trap negates, a monster effect negate, that's 3. A pop with a Charles, that's 4. And a Book of Moon, that's 5. And that was protected under Nib throughout the entire combo. Now, again, if they opened Ash Imperm, or, you know, like Imperm Nib or something like that, we did kind of get cooked. But, I mean, like, it is what it is, you know? Like, if they open Imperm Nib, like, they got you, right? There's no... They do that, then you got to hope with the rest of her hand would be pretty decent. And then it's pretty much set Imperm Ash and pray the Nib token. You don't have to hold them off. But I think at the moment in which they could have Imperm Nibbed us was after Angelica, so we'd already got access to this. So there could be a way, like a world that we're able to... I don't think so, never mind. But anyway, that's it. So then what's happening on the following turn, you send this to negate something, you're going to be able to shuffle back this, plus like 3 more to get like more recursion, so... Yeah, we'll quickly let's just wrap it up and do like another test hand, boys. Fellow Knights... Who's ready for spooky season, man? Like, I am so excited for fall to be here, so that way we can, for Halloween, so that way we can go back to playing, like, the scary games. I don't know if you guys remember that, but last year I think we did a lot of, like, streams where we'd talk Yu-Gi-Oh!, do some remote duels, and then we'd go off and play, like, a very scary game. And I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really fun. I love Halloween, man, so it was, like, really awesome to be able to do that. All right. Oh, that was a horrible. We'll give a quick cut. All right, let's see what we get here. Crossout Designator, Ash, Rhoda, Flint Lady, and Gearfried. Okay, so that's why I like playing Crossout, because Crossout pretty much says, like, if we're playing against 2 hand traps, we're doing okay. So sadly, as much as I would love to do like Flame Swordsman stuff, this is one of those hands where, since we didn't open access to Renault on top of the Flame Swordsman, it's just not good. So I think we have to go ahead and fire off this, but we're going to go ahead and search out Oliver. So this right here brings up, for someone asked in my comments, they're like, why do you still play Flint Lady? And Flint Lady doesn't come up a lot. Which version do you recommend playing this deck for a local or regional? I would actually take this to a regional, and in fact, I actually think I will take it to a regional or two. I think, and I will stand... And so when I was wrong, man, I thought that the Flame Swordsman stuff wasn't that good, and I've actually really enjoyed it. And I think it has a lot of utility and applications that, that the other variants are missing. So you go ahead and normal summon Oliver, and then you go and activate Flint Lady to special summon itself. And then you go ahead and go here for Angelica. We'll just put the Nib token up here for now. Angelica's effect, and then again, if they've been holding Imperm, man, you got the cross out to call Imperm, so Angelica, like, resolves. And that's why I think Imperm, like if they hit you with Effect Veiler, man, well, this would be an awful moment to hit us with Effect Veiler, because then we can just dodge it, technically. So, like, we go here, then we can activate, pay 12, and then we can go ahead and search Durandal. I think Durandal's the card we want to search for. I think Durandal's it. Maybe we go Almus in the Durandal search, and that way we have, like, the ability to equip during the end phase. So we'll go Almus effect, equipped, go this, effect to this, destroy, and then we want to grab... What do we want to grab here? We could potentially... I mean, we could grab Renault. What does, like, Renault get us here? I mean, technically, grab Renault. Special Renault, or banish Almus for Gearfried. Affected this. Special Renault, add that back. Trigger that dump Ogier. Museum move Ogier forward. Okay, yeah, so... What we'll do is we'll go Gearfried, so that way we don't fall victim to, like, a blind Nib. banish the here. Oh, 1, 2, 3. This is our 4th summon. We'll go effect to equip. We'll special Renault. Special Renault. Renault effect, add back the Almus. I equipped Almus here to her. Chain her effect. She will send Ogier. Excuse me. And then she will banish herself. Summon out our boy Roland. Effect of Ogier to equip. Effect of Museum to move forward. Effect of Ogier to send. We can send the Fighting Flame Swordsman. But I think we can send a sword. So, like, we have an option, really. We could send Swordsman. Swordsman would send Salamandra. Salamandra would grab us Book of Moon. Or we can make SP here, I think. Because we either send Fighting Flame or we send Turpin. I guess it really depends, right? Like, if we have to fire off... Building the deck now to play test. There you go, brother. I mean, it really depends. If we send Turpin and then, like, they have to use Nib. Nib Imperm here. Well, we don't lose to Imperm because we have cross out. Unless they open, like, 2 Imperm and Nib, then yeah. So, yeah, there you go. Like, send this, search out the trap, and then you can make Charles that way, and then that's, like, your end board. Is that way, but then you have like Renault just sitting over here not doing anything. So like I think we'll just send Turpin just so we get rid of the Renault. Go ahead and synchro for Charles. Effective Roland to attach. Link in here. Chain link. This will attach the Charles here. Effective Turpin engrave. Special summon itself. We go off here into SP. So then, like, yeah. This is what we get to, my guys. End phase, this comes back. And you can set cross out if you want to, because, like, cross out technically is, like, a really good going second card in the way, because, like, it's, like, another cross out, like, tactics would be cool. That's assuming that we didn't use it. So then, again, not counting the non-engine, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 forms of disruption. And, of course, during the end phase, Charles is going to grab Durandal and then equip Malgus, so we'll get a potential draw for, like, another follow-up, which would be kind of wild. Would be kind of wild, if you ask me. But, yeah, there we go. That's it. Let's run it back and do another one. And let's see this. Have you ever tried the Snake Eye package into Power Tool Braver combo? If so, what's your thoughts? I actually have, and I actually saw the... So, it started out with the Snake Eyes stuff. But I just kept seeing Popular, dude. I saw Popular almost every hand. I really wish I could tell you that. So I saw Popular so much, I just started playing without it. And then I was like, well, if I'm going to see it, I might as well cut it. So then I cut out the Popular because I was using Banshee to search it and stuff like that. And I just went without it, and I haven't really, like, missed it, per se. Because at the end of it, I kind of really felt like I was playing worse Snake Eyes in a way. But anyway, for next hand here. Ashen Perm, the Fighting Flame Swords, Durandal, and... right here. So this is actually pretty awesome because standby phase, we can fire off the Fighting Flame Sword, and we're going to be able to search for a spell or trap that lists the Fighting Flame Swordsman, and this is going to let us grab our Flame Swords Realm. So that means our normal summon of the Fighting Flame Swordsman will go uninterrupted here. I will activate the Fighting Flame Sword. I will normal summon it here. I'll activate the effect. They can't respond to it. And I'll just go ahead and add the fusion. So, like, in this particular sequence, it's a 3-card combo, but you open, like, Swordsman plus this, plus anyway to Renault, you can go ahead and search the trap and the fusion, so that way, like, if you do really get hit with a nib and you play through it, you're pretty solid. We're going to go Durandal. Durandal effect. We'll search out for our Renault. Renault. Search out for Renault. Special Renault. Renault effect. Add back the Durandal. I really wish I'd see Ashen Imperm like I've been seeing at these test hands, man. That'd be kind of wild. At locals or anything, dude. I can't ever see Ashen Imperm. I've only seen one or the other. We'll go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. Chainlink 2 will send the dragon. Send the dragon, and then we'll add ourselves museum. Dragon effect, we'll go ahead and search ourselves the chain. So we definitely will have to remember to pop the Flamesword's Realm later this turn. That's if we even want to, like, pop the Flamesword's Realm. But if we're trying, yeah, so then we'll go and activate we'll activate Museum, pay 12. We go ahead and search out Almus. We'll go ahead and go Durandal, chain Angelica. Angelica will send. This is like the cookie cutter combo, but like we get to play through a lot of hand traps. I feel like this way. Because technically we're able to chain block Angelica. If they do have, like, Imperm here, right? Like, oh no, we literally just use this, send this, and we use our non-engine, and we make the Ultimate Flame Swordsman, so we technically end on 4 disruptions through, like, a flat Imperm on here, but anyway. This would send Ogier, we'll go here, right into Roland, her husband. Effect Ogier to equip. Effect of Museum to special summon. We're now locked into warriors. And again, if they fire off Nib here, since we have Almus, we could, and Ash, so like we could technically send Gearfried here. Because since we have Ash, we could pitch Ash with the, for the Flamesword Realm if we wanted to. So that way, like, we get to keep the Almus to be able to grab, back the Gearfried. But we're just going to play, like, they don't have it. That's just me, like, telling you guys, like, the potential lines to go through stuff. Send here. We'll go here for Charles. We will equip here. Use Charles. No, we won't use Charles' effect. What am I thinking? We'll go up here. We'll go ahead and go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. Equipped. Have that Gearfried. Effect banish here. Summon out the Gearfried. So, like, if they did hold Nib, this is the part I was talking about prior to where you go affect the Gearfried, banish this. They have to Nib here, and in which case Gearfried touches down, the Nib token's here, and then you have, again, Flamesword Realm, plus, like, these cards to continue moving forward. And then, again, if these cards here are, like, if this was the one package, we're still able to continue through it anyway. I'm not going to say that because, like, I feel like Ash just doesn't do enough, but, like, I don't know, man. Hand traps are, like, an interesting thing. I hate playing against FTK decks and losing because of you open no hand trap. So it's one of those things where it's like, I think somebody, Passino or something like that, yeah, YuGiOh Passino said there's like 4 or 5 FTK decks that existing in the that exist right now. But anyway, I use Specialist here. And really, man, like, you don't have to use we don't have to make the Flamesword's Realm. Like, we don't have to do that. We could potentially just set these 2 cards here and then just, like, pass our turn. However, that means we'd have to have popped this because we didn't get use out of it. So I want to get use out of it because I feel like we get a little bit more. So we'll go Flamesword Realm, send this to go ahead and summon out the Ultimate Flame Swordsman. Be right back, chat. I think someone's knocking at my door. We rescued a dog, so he has to have to watch him because otherwise he's not, like, super potty trained. Anyway, so enough about that. Anyway, we get to here. We go Fusion here. Charles effect to destroy the Flamesword's Realm, so we have space. Fusion effect to fuse off into the Ultimate Flame Swordsman. Okay. And then we set these 2 cards. And then, of course, the end phase comes around, man. And, well, let's see here. Do we want to, technically, we go Salamander to equipped here. Oh, man, we don't want to do that. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. End phase comes around. Angelica comes back. Charles can pick up, literally, it depends what you want to do. You can pick up the Fusion, because, like, Fusion prevents it from being destroyed, right? Or you could pick up Durandal, which gives you follow-up if it is destroyed, essentially. Either one's a valid option. I don't think there's a right or wrong. And then, of course, you equip Malgus. Out here to be able to shuffle back and get a draw. And then, hi from Brazil. Thanks for always being such not out for always. Thank you for always bringing such awesome content about Infernobles. You're welcome, man, Arthur. I enjoy it, man. It's one of my favorite decks, and I feel like this deck has like a religious following, like some of the other decks out there, like Synchron's and Dragon Link and Branded. So, and I feel like the deck hasn't like lost its power ceiling, right? Like I feel like the deck can still do a lot of things even without things like Isolde. But anyway, so like you have the Salamandra Chain to be able to like, so you flip Salamandra Chain to Book of Moon, something equipped it to the Flame Swordsman. It now is a quick effect because it has to be equipped to be a quick effect because Konami. And that could also, at that point, trigger Charles as well, if you want to so choose. And then you had the ability to like use the Roll and Engrave, and that's like, so that's what it makes this interesting in a way, and gives like a different type of utility, right? The chain can also trigger Charles, so that means that the Roland in your graveyard could potentially target Angelica, which would then give it Angelica ability to dump, and then get an additional resource to the graveyard. So that's an interesting thing to come up with. So like you're not solely dependent on Roland equipping to Charles to be able to trigger it. You can use Roland defensively and proactively onto Angelica, but yeah, not too bad. We'll run one more test hand. I feel like we'll do one more test hand. We'll do some closing thoughts and stuff like that. Do some talking. But yeah, we'll just do one more. We did the cut. Let's go ahead and see our first 5 cards here. Our first 5 cards will be Flint Lady, Inperm. We're seeing Inperm a lot. Gosh, I wish I'd see Inperm this much at locals, man. Heritage of the Chalice, Ash and Inperm. Wow, must be nice and joyous. Let's see here. So this is very similar to the earlier one where it's probably go Oliver, add this. Except for we're going to be able to get to Charles and Gearfried this way. That's one thing I really like about like this deck currently is it still gets to Charles and Gearfried consistently, which is 3 disruptions. And I think as long as you're able to interact with half of your opponent's hand, you're still like doing good. But what we might do something a little bit interesting here, just to for the sake of like doing a test hand, right? We'll do something interesting. We'll go Heritage of the Chalice. We'll add ourselves Ogier. We'll normal Ogier, use Ogier's effect, and we'll send the Ferocious Flame Swordsman here. Or not the Ferocious, we'll send the Fighting Flame Swordsman. Effect of Fighting Flame Swordsman. You'll go ahead and send the Salamandra, I actually don't know. Salamandra, the Flying Flame Dragon. Flying Flame Dragon. We'll go ahead and grab us we'll grab the Fusion. We will go Joyous onto here. Effect of this to go and add back the Fighting Flame Swordsman. We'll special out Flint Lady, and then we'll go Flint Lady's effect, sending herself to summon out the Fighting Flame Swordsman. We'll then use the Fighting Flame Swordsman's effect to go ahead and grab ourselves the Fighting Flame Realm. We could actually grab the Fighting Flame Sword 2 to deck thin, and then go Flame Sword Realm to search it, but these cards, I actually think this is one of the coolest cards on the deck. This card has such cool utility in the sense that it can protect yourself from being targeted, and it can actually protect yourself from... and then, like, it doesn't... So protect your Flame Swords from being targeted. It also has the ability to pop a card when you declare an attack, which is pretty cool. And we'll add the Flame Sword Realm. So... let's see here. We'll make the Cross Sheep here, which I don't know if this is correct. Like I said, I probably should have gone for the other way because you get to do something. I'm just in Crusadian Toss. Zeus, brother, keep up the awesome content. My man. Deus Vult to you too, man. One day, Konami will shine on us again and give us some good Crusadia support, man. One day. I will go and activate Realm, use Realmless effect, pitch this to summon out the Flame Swordsman. Effect of Cross Sheep to Reborn. It doesn't matter what we reborn, really. Like I said, we're just going to go ahead and go here. Go on up into Promethean. Promethean effect to reborn a fire, it doesn't matter. And then we just make ourselves the Fighting Flame Swordsman. The Ferocious Flame Swordsman. Make the Ferocious Flame Swordsman. We go Fusion. This is probably, like I said, this is just a fun line, man. Like, you probably... You should have gone the other way. You should have gone. You should have searched out your Oliver Special Flint made Angelica. That would have got you to the better ending board probably, but it's still just kind of cool to go for this. Set 1. You can go effective Ogier to equip to Ultimate Flame Swordsman, and then we can go effect the Flame Dragon to equipped as well. And then our end board is technically 3 disruptions. We have a pop, an imperm, which we normally don't count this, but pop, imperm, and the ability for Promethean to target the Ferocious Flame Swordsman and destroy itself. And I actually think that you could potentially, if you wanted to keep this out, you could go Promethean, target the Flame Swordsman, target a card, and then summon it. And then since Ultimate Flame Swordsman with Ogier, it wouldn't be destroyed, so then you just get to pop for free. But yeah, let's do one more test hand. That was kind of a fun one. I know I said that was going to be the last one. Let's do one more and just do it serious. And we'll just check and see what our 6th card is. Or what if we do like a going second one? Kind of nutty. Kind of nutty. So our first opening hand, Ash again. Here we go. Fighting Flame Sword. And here we go. So, all right. So we do have combo here. We will go standby phase. Oh, let's see here. So going first, this is it. Going second, we draw another Fighting Flame Sword. So that's rough. We'd have flung Ash at him for sure. So standby phase, we'll go the Fighting Flame Sword. I think we just go ahead and search a second copy of it, so we have a Fire Warrior to ditch off of the Oliver here. And we'll just, man, let's just... like, we don't really have the ability to... I mean, technically we could say we could cross out an Imperm, right? They set, because they probably set Imperm. But we normal summon here, effect. If they end up negating this, it's kind of rough. Actually, it's really rough, actually, if they, like, negate this. But, like, what kind of card out there, like, negates, you know what I mean? Negate, destroy this that are being played right now, right? So, like, normal summon effect, if they Ash it or something like that, then we're okay. Kinda. I mean, we're really still able to play. We'll go for the Sword Realm. We'll go effect of this, pitching this to summon. Effect of the Flaying Flame Swordsman, you're going to send, of course, Salamandra. And then Salamandra will add you the Fusion. We'll go ahead and Synchro here into Angelica. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. Oh, no, we can't. We can only Chainlink 1 here because we've already used it. So maybe you would just hold this. And then until you got to this point, then you go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2 to go ahead and grab this. And this would add you this. We can go Effect a Museum. Pay 12. We could technically grab... Oh, man, what do we grab? Oh, yeah, we grab Durandal, because we're trying to beat stuff, right? That's like the whole... Well, see, Durandal doesn't really get us what we're trying to go for, I think. I mean, technically, it will. Effective Oliver target, chain her effect. Let's see, we could send Turpin here. Or no, let's just go ahead and send Ogier. Let's just do it. I was going to say we could send Turpin and then search Ogier, but we'll send Ogier. I don't foresee, like, I don't know if we would... Opening the doubles of Flame Sword and the Flame Swordsman was definitely kind of rough, but doesn't make this impossible. This is just a showcase, like, that you'd know that the deck can potentially put out lethal. Effect to equip, effect to move forward, effect to send. We really could send... Technically, we could send... Yeah, we could send Gearfried here. Send Gearfried. Durandal into Renault. Special Renault effect to go ahead and grab back the Gearfried. And this is good because we're going to be able to have that body to pitch later with the Flame Sword Realm. Go into Chuck. Effect a roll into equip to Chuck. Truck effect, you can pop something. Go here for the Emperor. Emperor effect to equip. Then you can go Gearfried by banishing Durandal. You can go Flame Swords Realm, sending here, summoning out your Flame Swordsman, wherever he's at, the Flame Swordsman. Nope, as long as you guys are following with me. We can equip the Fusion, use Fusion's effect to go into the Ultimate Flame Swordsman. And then, this is... I hate doing these type of scenarios because, like, going second's kind of rough because your opponent can end on a plethora of things. But to essentially show you that the deck can put up a lot effective target. So you're going to be able... So, again, boxer stuff, you would literally just be able to go SP, Charles, pop. You're solving 2 cards. So if your opponent ends on, like, a full field, you're able to solve 1 card with Charles, solve 2 cards with the Flame Swordsman pop, solve 3... And then with the pop, right? And then you go into battle phase, and Charles is going to be able to attack over something because Charles is 35. Gearfried's going to be able to attack over something and then potentially suck up another thing. So Gearfried's a 2 for 1. So you're going to be able to solve 3 monsters, and the Ultimate Flame Swordsman can then attack over something. And then if the Ultimate Flame Swordsman is the last attack you have going through, you can use its effect to double its attack. And since it's gaining a total of 700, that'd put it at 35. So I'd put him at 62 or 6,000, I think. Right? 7 would put it... It's gaining a total of 12, so 2 would put it at 3... No, it'd be 8,000. You'd be swinging for 8,000 directly. And that just ends the game. And you could potentially do more, because once you declare with this guy, you could technically use Swords Realm to reduce, like, Charles by 1,000, and then these guys will gain 1,000, so then all of a sudden Ultimate Flame Swordsman is gaining 22, making it 5,000, making him punch for 10,000, which could potentially be life or could end the game, because if you're attacking over something, as long as it's like, it'd have to be like 2,000 or more attack, you'd be able to do damage. That's assuming that these don't have like overlap damage and stuff like that, but that's not too terrible at all. So again, that was just going to show you like a going second test hand. Again, I understand like boards are pretty broken. Like, I don't think that hand beat through like a Whitewoods board of like Double Book of Moon, the Silhouette Hat, or the Angel statue being set, or like Runic. I don't think this beat through multiple Runic disruptions and stuff like that. Maybe it could beat through like a mediocre board and stuff like that, but yeah, guys, I think that'll wrap it up here for the test hands thing, at least, and we can just sit and we can like kind of talk and discuss, like bandless guys. Like, what do you guys want to see? Like, we should be getting one, man. The big event's over.